I have been using JavaScript for a little over a year now. I have built websites, I have built mobile apps all using plain JavaScript. It's not like TypeScript was some unknown thing to me. I always knew it existed. I knew it was better. I just never felt the urgency to actually learn it properly. I started coding back when I was in ninth grade with Python, and because of that, navigating types was never really part of how learned programming the first place. Python lets you stay productive without thinking too much about structure early on. You focus on logic, not on constraints. So when it came time to choose between JavaScript and TypeScript, my lazy ass picked the easier option, JavaScript, and for a while that decision did not really hurt. But then I started working with other people, bigger code bases, shared repos, and then TypeScript was everywhere. And instead of sitting down and understanding it deeply, I did what a lot of developers do. I learned just enough to survive, you know, enough to fix errors, make the red lines go away, and uh, not to look completely lost, but not enough to actually know what I was doing. And that works. That works. But only until it doesn't. Because sooner or later, copy pasting types stops working. You hit errors, and you hit errors you don't understand. Inference breaks, generics start feeling like black magic, and at that point, pretending becomes exhausting. The bill always comes due, and you can't fake it forever. Now, here's the thing. I've already been through this once before with Python. One thing become very clear to me from that experience. If you want to understand a framework or library, you build projects using it. But if you want to understand the language itself, you build frameworks or libraries in it. Uh, that's where real understanding comes from. I learned more about how Python actually behaves while building Muffinmite. Muffinmite is my own CLI tool, uh, uh, and I actually learned more I ever did while working on a proper production grade Django project. Django taught me how to use Django. Muffinmite forced me to understand Python in a deeper way. So when I finally admitted to myself that I don't know really understand TypeScript, the solution was obvious. I needed to build something that forces me to. So I juggled between blogs, docs, random discussions, and one idea kept showing up again and again. TypeScript don't exist at runtime. I had I had heard that line before, but this time I actually tried to understand what it meant. And the more I dug into it, the more uncomfortable I got. You can have perfect type definitions and still receive completely invalid data at runtime. The compiler is happy and production is not. Suddenly, that illusion of safety breaks. That's when I started noticing patterns in existing solutions. A lot of binaries, what they try to do is they try to solve this by adding layers of abstraction, generating code. You don't really read or hiding complexity behind very clever APIs, which makes sense if your goal is productivity, but if you're trying to learn, that cleverness becomes a problem. You know why it becomes a problem? Because you don't see the edges. You don't you don't get to see where things break, and most importantly, you don't see why something works and why something does not work. That's where the idea for a crumb started forming, not as a finished solution, but as an experiment. What experiment? Uh, Crumb is something I plan to build as a small TypeScript library focused on runtime contracts and validation, where types and runtime behavior uh, are tied together. as honestly as possible, and not because I have a better solution, but I don't have one at all. The goal with Scrum will be simple: define data contracts once, validate real values at runtime, and drive TypeScript types from the same source without hiding what's actually happening. Every decision in Scrum will be guided by one question: do I actually understand this? If you're watching this expecting a follow-along tutorial, it is not going to be that at all. There will be a playlist. Sorry, there won't be a playlist where I build the library line by line. There won't be any polished explanations with perfect code on the screen, and there will definitely won't be a copy this and you will master TypeScript energy. What this will be is, you know, something different. This is not going to be from a teacher's perspective, but from someone actively confused and trying to reason his uh, way out of it. This isn't just a thinking exercise I'm doing in isolation. As crumbs takes shapes, you will be able to use it. Once the first usable version is out, this won't be just me talking about ideas. You will be able to pull it into a project, test its limits, and decide whether it actually makes sense or completely falls apart. And when something feels off, confusing, or broken, that feedback won't stay private. That's where contribution comes in. So yeah, I don't fully understand TypeScript, and making excuses, and instead of continuing to fake it, I'm building something that forces me to confront that gap. So that's it for today. If you have come to the end of this video and with God's grace still trying to draw conclusion what type of content I make, so on this channel I talk about freelancing, tech, and web development. My portfolio and LinkedIn are in the description if you want to connect. I will see you in the next video. Till then, let's keep building.